Hey folks, welcome. This is our first episode of Stirring the Pot. And so tonight I'm making dinner for the guys, for Deacon Reichard, Father Ganella, Father Cladar, and you want to come over and see it? I'll show you what we're doing. Alright. So this is my bucatini arrabbiata. So bucatini arrabbiata, it's a spicy red sauce, and we liven it up with some hot Italian sausage, maybe a few sprinkles of pepper flakes, and then we cook that with bucatini. So how about that? All right. And so we're just kind of sitting around waiting for dinner to be ready. And so we thought we'd just sit here at the island tonight and kind of include you in our usual conversation that takes place.
It's going to be a lot of fun. We're totally just shooting from the hip here, but we have some topics we thought we'd cover. You know, maybe in the future we might take some questions, but today we just sent out some feelers, so we've got some pretty interesting topics, and excited to be here with you this afternoon.
Mm-hmm. So since we're talking about my bucatini, guys, what's your favorite food? Tell me what do you guys like to eat the best? What's like your favorite thing that I make?
This is it. This is delicious.
This is the best thing that he makes. We ate all of it, and it's because he can't burn it. The sauce, it just goes, and it's great.
Yeah, you can't ruin it.
The best thing I ever ate, my favorite meal, was a trip that my parents and I took up to see St. Therese of Lisieux, and we went over to Normandy to see where the Utah beach and all of D-Day took place. And a guy I studied with in seminary is from that region, so he told us, like, you got to try mussels. And I'm like, I've never had mussels in my life. That just sounds terrible. But we went to D-Day. We actually were able to have Mass there. And then on the sea, right there, the North Sea, right by France, we went into this little shop. I'm like, can I have some mussels? And they brought out a pound in a pot this big. It was unbelievable. And just ate mussels, little white wine sauce, little garlic.
Did you eat all that by yourself?
Amazing. Yeah, my parents just sat there. My dad wasn't shocked. My mom was disgusted.
Yeah.
But, yeah. What about you?
My favorite meal is actually in St. Paul, Minnesota. It's from a restaurant called Shamrocks, and they have a great burger there. And it's just my favorite. I know it's simple. I know it's kind of plain, but it's a beautiful burger and a big old basket of fries with it.
So what do you get on the burger? What
makes it special?
It's pretty normal, actually. There's not much special about it. I mean, it comes with the regular things: cheese. It's got the extra slice of bread in the middle, 2 patties. It's got the onions, the lettuce, the special sauce on there.
Do you do mustard?
No.
Wow.
No.
You never put
just
mustard
as it
on a
comes.
hamburger.
Yeah. What?
That's like confession material. You have to go to confession.
Topic for another day, but I'm team mustard for sure.
My favorite thing is the carbonara at the Abruzzi in Rome. It's right near one of my favorite churches, and they have this. They use the penne noodles. And what is carbonara? Is this like egg and salt or pepper and cream or cheese? What?
Yeah, it's a great story. It's from the American soldiers in World War II. They were over in Italy, and they're like, we miss bacon and eggs. So the Italians will not admit this. Sorry, Father Ganella, but American soldiers were the inspiration for carbonara. It was like, let's just get some bacon, let's get some eggs, and we'll put it in pasta. And it's amazing.
Right. And so sometimes, we cook. Like Father Cladar, he makes an amazing, what is that thing called?
Matriciana.
Matriciana. And you don't make anything.
I
You
don't
just
cook.
eat.
I eat.
He eats. And sometimes we don't make food. We go out or we cook in or we bring in. So what's your favorite thing?
Lou Malnati's pizza.
Stuffed pizza.
Stuffed pizza, sausage, pepperoni, butter crust.
Uh-huh. And I'll get the salmon and broccoli from Rev Robin. What do you get?
Deep dish.
Deep dish, that's yours? That's
Sausage
yours?
and pepperoni.
Yeah. So
Throw some sriracha sauce on there. Next level.
So if one of us gets to pick, and so that's kind of where we always end up with one of our places. So food's incredibly important in this house, as you probably can, since that's how we started talking. In addition to that, we with all this stuff going on, one of our biggest disappointments. You brought it up last night. We were like, boy, we could watch some basketball.
Yeah.
We're missing the Masters, but we really are missing baseball. I love spring training baseball on TV. I love opening day, and so we're kind of we're disappointed, and so we ended up talking about some of that stuff, and the baseball season's coming up. What are your guys' thoughts about that?
Well, it's a house divided. This is Cub country, but only one Cubs fan lives in this
but
house.
I'm a pastor, so that's all that matters.
Well,
That's right.
so many things we could say.
Father Cladar and I have different teams, but we're united in the sense that we both don't like the Cubs.
They're the worst.
So I'm a White Sox fan.
I'm a St. Louis Cardinals fan.
So there we go. The enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Yeah.
So.
I see how it is. But God and I, we are Cub fans.
Yeah,
So there
well,
we go.
if you put all of the World Series from the Cubs and the White Sox together, it's like not even half of the St. Louis Cardinals World Series.
But
So
we have the prettiest park.
winning.
We
Yeah,
have- we have-
Wrigley's beautiful.
It is
I
a
love
beautiful
Wrigley.
place, and we did win a World Series. I'm not so optimistic though about their upcoming season. I'm a little down on the Cubs right now. So
Yeah, but you Darvish, finally worth the $100 billion you guys are paying him.
yeah.
He won like 6 games last year, but I think he's gonna be better this year.
What does that come out to per capita?
Oh, gosh.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But I'm not crazy about their coach hire. So yeah,
He's the catcher. He was on Dancing for the Stars.
I know, and he's going to do a lot of dancing this season, I think. So, what about you? Any thoughts about that team on the south side that nobody likes? What is that? Cut rate park or
Guaranteed bad time.
Something like that. Not many thoughts on baseball, frankly. I'm really sad hockey ended. Even though the Hawks were having a tough season, we're really sad about that. But we'll focus on baseball now and get the summer going. Hopefully.
You're related to a White Sox player.
A former White Sox player, yeah. Actually, Paul Konerko is my dad's cousin, believe it or not. So I got to see him a little bit growing up and got to ride in his car with him one time. That was pretty cool.
yeah?
So,
Awesome.
yeah.
Aren't you related to somebody?
On the Cardinals?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, I thought you were.
No, that's
Okay.
Paganella.
Okay. My claim.
I wish.
My thing is I got to go. It was a charity auction winner thing, and somebody invited me. They won a lunch and an afternoon at Ryan Sandberg's house over in Lake Bluff somewhere, and I got to go. I got to eat food at his table. He was delightful. Got to see all of his stuff, and I got to play baseball with Ryan Sandberg in his front yard.
Very cool.
Yeah, and I was terrible.
You got great hand-eye coordination.
No.
Great
I know
hand-eye
that surprises
coordination.
you, but he was so nice to me. He's like, nice effort.
Is he Catholic?
That's good.
His wife is, and he goes to church.
There we go.
There
All right.
you go. Good guy.
Yeah. And so we thought another interesting thing just for us to chat about is to give you a little window into who we are. And so maybe we could ask each other, or you guys could tell the people. I'm not going to say anything about myself, but you guys can tell them something that they don't know about you.
Something that you don't know about me. Well, some of you know this already, I think, but many of you probably don't. I actually have a twin sister, and she was working in the office for a while, but not anymore. Before you ask, we're not identical, all right? So, but yeah, growing up with a twin sister has been great, and love her very much. So,
Did
happy
she
that
used to
she's
work here
close.
in the office?
Yeah, she used to work in the office. So Samantha is her name. So if you ever ran across her in the office, that's her. That's my twin sister. So.
Do you ever have twin moments where one person is like thinking the same thing as the other? Or if you fall, she hurts her elbow or anything like that?
Not that I'm aware of.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
So you're not going to tell us anything? All right.
Oh, you come
All
ahead.
right.
You've got a million things that people don't know about.
Well, I worked in a fine dining restaurant for a couple of years back in Rockford. It was a country club. And pretty much since 2010, I've really enjoyed food. So you always get on me a little bit about complaining about maybe this doesn't taste the right thing or that. But it's, it's because I love food. Food is something that brings us together.
Right.
We've got all this time together, a nice long meal of a family being together. It's just better with good food. So, working in a fine dining restaurant for a couple of years, since then, I mean, I've always been obsessed with food. But
I used to work in a restaurant too.
Dairy Queen
Dairy Queen, my first job.
on 64.
On 64 with Rudy Delasassi. He was
Yeah.
my first boss.
He paid you $1 a day.
It was $1 a day. No, $1 an hour. $1 an hour. Although that's not much better.
Yeah.
But we got to eat all the ice cream we wanted to.
You made dilly bars.
I made dilly bars. I know how to make a good dilly bar.
Yeah.
And so it's something that you don't know about me. Let's see. I can bench. My best was 250. One time I had a spotter though. Since then I've slid back, so I'm in the like 215, 210.
You are very strong.
But Father Cladar, I said that to him one day, and all of a sudden now we've got this thing going. And
I
it's
got a little worried.
You blow me out of the water.
We got a competition. I told you guys in January. We got a competition, first one at 300. So I'm hoping by the time Pritzker's thing is done on April 7th, and we can go back to living normal lives.
That's right.
300 is in the books.
It's going to happen.
It's
And
close.
yeah. So
No, you are super strong
for an old man, you were going to say it.
He said it. He said it.
Yeah. Another thing, my goal is before the Lord takes me to visit every national park, and I've done about 60% of them.
Wow.
Yeah. That's
Have you been to Glacier?
yeah. But that's the prettiest place in the whole United States.
I've heard that.
National Park.
I want to
It's
go there.
unbelievable.
I've never been there.
Going to the Sun Road. It's the highest road in the United States, and I almost drove over the side.
Wow.
So that's another story though.
Yeah.
All right. So that's a few things that you don't know about us. Hey guys,
We're like priests. We should probably talk about something
let's
like
talk
holy
about
or
something spiritual. What's your favorite
All right.
saint?
My favorite saint, as I said earlier, I was in Lisieux, and Saint Therese of Lisieux has been super special for me. Another thing about me that probably most people know by just my daily interactions, but I was homeschooled, and the school that my parents had for us was Saint Therese of Lisieux school for the whopping 4 kids of us that just lived there every day. And ever since then, just been really inspired by story of the soul, pretty much, especially as we go through all the stuff we're going on today, to just take things one step at a time, and every little thing we do, we can be given to Christ, and to be saint in the small things, and let the big things kind of just work themselves out.
Okay, that's awesome. What about you?
My favorite saint is Saint Paul. It's been my favorite saint for a long time. As a matter of fact, he's my confirmation saint. So I chose Saint Paul when I was in high school. I was confirmed as a sophomore, so about 16 years old, and I actually just ran across my old confirmation saint report that I did, and it was pretty cool to read that and to hear what 16-year-old me had to say about Saint Paul. But just have always been inspired by his story, and just knowing that somebody could make such a big turnaround in their life, going from persecuting Christians, persecuting Christ, and turn out to be one of the greatest saints of the church and write much of the New Testament. So that's always been inspiring to me. I've always been inspired by the way he preached and fearlessly taught the truth to the people of the ancient world after Jesus. So always been an inspiration to me, and a saint I still, of course, pray to today. How about you, Monsignor?
Awesome. My favorite saint is Saint Gregory the Great and Saint Philip Neri, my 2 top ones. I've been thinking the last few days, just Saint Gregory the Great lived at the time when the Roman Empire was in full retreat, when the Western that ancient culture was dissolving, and it was the church that kind of went in and filled in that vacuum. Is the government and everything kind of collapsed, and the invaders were all coming in, the barbarians. It was Gregory the Great who kind of was the mayor of Rome, who became a priest, was made the bishop pope, and he ran Western civilization and tried to get it back on its feet. And he did it with prayer, with the Mass, with the Eucharistic processions, fasting. I mean, he was all in. And so if you go back and look at the history of the church, he is like one of the top, let's say, popes that we had that really came at a time when we needed it the most and saved the whole show. So really somebody to pray for now, intercede, ask him for his intercession, just to help us with all the stuff that's going on now. It's pretty important. So,
Do you want to hear something cool?
what's that?
My dad's name is Gregory.
Mm-hmm.
My mom was born on the feast of St. Gregory, September 3rd. My middle name is Gregory. And then I went to St. Gregory the Great Seminary in Nebraska. And then I studied at the Gregorian in Rome, living 5 minutes from his body,
Wow.
where he's buried.
Yeah, which is quite a thing to see that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Big
you know
Gregory fan,
what
too.
that means for you? We expect we expect some big things from you. All right.
Yeah, but these saints, I mean, they're awesome people, and for us, sometimes we can put them on a pedestal, but they're human beings just like us.
They were real people.
Sometimes you have embarrassing moments.
Yeah, we do.
Saints did
Right.
all the time, and we do as priests.
Yeah.
I have a lot of them.
Well, tell me one of them.
Well, this wasn't as a priest, but a week into being a deacon,
Oh, this one. Yeah.
I had a special honor of preaching for the Poor Clares. We have the cloistered Poor Clares in Rockford. They're there just praying for us all the time. Some of them haven't been outside of that monastery in 50, 60 years. And the priests, the deacons, the priests say mass for them, but when you're a deacon, you go and you preach. So I was scheduled. It was a Friday. And the Thursday, I had caddied for Father Browning down in central Illinois for a golf tournament. He's a big golfer. And it was a long day, and I got home, and I was super tired, and I fell asleep. I had made sure my alarm was set, but the volume was off. So I woke up to a phone call. My whole family is at there. The nuns, family, friends. Deacon Jack was there. I didn't remember that, but he was there. And I got a call like 5 minutes before 7, like, where are you? And
I'm not there.
I slept through Mass with the nuns, and that was easily.
The Poor Clare, barefoot, cloistered nuns.
They've given their life to pray for me, and I blew
and you
off.
couldn't even get out of bed.
But I learned my lesson, and I've never missed a Mass since. So
he hasn't. You've never missed one. Praise God.
against all odds.
My most embarrassing, I've got a lot of embarrassing moments. One I told at Mass a few months ago about me at St. Peter's Square, but I won't repeat that one. I'll give you one that I can repeat. I was my first year as a pastor at St. Bridget in Loves Park. I had just come from Holy Cross Parish. I've been there for 13 years. And it was my first Christmas Eve Mass, midnight Mass, and I come down to do the homily, and there's Father DeTomo, Father Rocky sitting up in the chairs, celebrating, and I start my homily. I said, just want to welcome all of you here, to Holy Cross.
At St. Bridget's.
I did it at St. Bridget. I said, welcome to Holy Cross. I did it like twice, and I didn't even know that I had done it.
Oh, without knowing
I
it.
didn't even know it.
Oh, wow.
And I just and I said it again, and all of a sudden people are like, "Boo!"
At Christmas, they booed you.
They boo. I got booed on Christmas Eve.
I don't think I've ever gotten booed during the holiday.
Oh, gosh.
It was awful. Oh my gosh! What about you?
Well, one of my most embarrassing moments came just about a month ago, actually, at the Emerald Evening School fundraiser.
Oh.
So we,
What was that?
well, about halfway through the dinner, Monsignor looked at Father Cladar and I and said, "Hey, I got an idea to raise some more money. We're going to sing a song, guys." And maybe you've realized this about me already, but I'm not big on singing, I'm not very confident about that. But I said, okay, Monsignor is a good singer, Father Cladar is a good singer. I'll just kind of be there in the background and join in as I can. So we got up there, we got donations to do this song. We sang the Salve Regina.
Yeah.
So
We tried to sing.
it's a song that we all know as priests. It's one we learned in the seminary.
Yeah.
We sing it at priest funerals, that kind of thing.
And I had my phone out just in case we forgot.
Monsignor had the words, so we had those. And we made it about 2/3 of the way through the song, but then with about a couple hundred people there watching us, we just totally lost it.
It was fine until like the last verse.
And then the train fell off the tracks.
Way off the tracks.
And I think it was me.
Well, Monsignor's the one who carried us through it. It just wasn't necessarily on the right track.
He got us to a destination. It just wasn't where we thought we were going. So
Yeah, but then we got to sit down and we made some money.
We made some money.
It's
People
for the
were very
kids.
generous. So
Yeah.
you got to do it for
all,
the kids.
It all worked out.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, folks, this has been a joy being with you, and we'll do it again because we like talking, and we like talking to you. We like having you be a part of us. It's so strange right now being around all this stuff that's going on, and we're isolated, and we can't really go and do the things we're used to doing, and we've got a lot of anxieties and worries and fears. And I guess for me, what I just want us to remember is that whatever happens, the Lord's got this. He's in it. He's moving this to a place where we all fall in love with Him again, and we all realize how much we need Him. And there's a great grace in it. He doesn't give us anything we can't handle, and the greater the grace, or the greater the challenge, the greater the grace He gives us. So I know that being with these guys and being with Deacon Jack and being here at this parish, these wonderful people, it's a great consolation to me when I get worried about stuff, and it makes me feel better, and it also reminds me of my job and what I'm here for. And I don't know, how do you guys, anything you want to say to the folks before we put dinner on the table?
Just that we appreciate you guys. We miss you guys. We love knowing that you're praying for us, and we're trying our best to stay connected to you. So we appreciate you watching and hanging out with us. So we'll keep praying for you guys, and we'll get through it together.
Definitely. Looking forward to all of you being back in the parish. We realize it's tough not to have Mass. It's tough for us as well.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the beautiful things is the extra amount of family time that for some, might be causing a little bickering here and there, but it's a beautiful thing to spend time with family, and you're our family. So not being with you is difficult for us, but we're praying for you, and we're looking forward to being able to come together, being together at Mass, and really just worshiping as a family. So thank you.
Yeah. So, brothers and sisters, we're going to give you a triple dose of the Holy Ghost. All right. The Lord be with you.
And with your spirit.
May Almighty God bless you, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Amen.
Amen. Good night, everybody.
God bless you.